This was shocking to me, and I was very excited to get to this video. It took me about 4 days to finally get to read everything about it. It's another physical manifestation of depression. I thought the hippocampus video, which you probably have seen on this channel, was the only physical manifestation, but this is actually quite shocking about neurons in your brain and the effect of shame on it. I'm gonna put my glasses on. This is from the Soul of Shame book. And actually, my therapist saved it for me because he knows of my fascination about neuroscience. I don't know. I just think the brain is just this amazingly fascinating thing, especially when people just get involved, get controlled by their brain. You know, when they go off screaming about politics or triggered or you're in my space and all this stuff that the college kids are learning right now. I'm not happy about it, but then again, I'm just showing my age. But they do seem to be, being taught to give in to their emotions and not actually look at and be open to anything, which is of course a concern, but we always work ourselves out. So anyway, I'm gonna read this to you quickly. That's why I got the glasses hanging off my nose. And I'm going to be jumping right into the middle of it because I think, well, no, isolation and disconnection are natural consequences of hiding and resisting re-engagement. See the theme here is isolation again. With enough reinforcement of the features we have thus far considered, we see how the outcome is the separation of people from one another. In any of the previous examples, relational disintegration is obvious. But here it is. This is what I underlined for this video. Very important. But this isolation is not limited to that between people. For as we will see in Chapter 2, is again from the book, The Soul of Shame. In Chapter 2, the fundamental neurobiology of the experience of shame disintegrates different neural networks and their corresponding functions with each other within each individual brain. Isolating them, isolation kills, remember guys, that's why I made this video series. Isolating them, causing the mind to be decreasingly flexible in its capacity to adapt to its environment. If you didn't hear all that, back this up because this is really important. In order for us to flourish, we need to be able to connect with others. We need to be able to connect with others. Get it? But this connection is deeply rooted in our ongoing work to increase the degree of connection we experience within our own minds. Boom. Not only is the hippocampi reducing while you're depressed, physically making it harder for you to get out of depression, getting you stuck in a loop, but not only that, with guilt and shame, which is very tied into depression, usually that's there, especially when you're depressed, you have guilt about being depressed. Well, it's a wicked cycle that circles you down into the hole of depression, and you get to a point where you don't want to do anything. Again, I know. I've experienced it. And if you're watching this video right now and you're searching out how to figure out your brain because you're depressed, this is what it's about. Your isolation is keeping you trapped. Your brain neurons are separating and being isolated within your own brain while you're isolating yourself from people. Wicked circle. Okay, Will, I know that. I know I'm doing that. How do I fix it? Well, the spark for me was to choose to do what I didn't want to do. At the risk of sounding repetitive on some of these other videos, it's a very core pillar of my belief system of how to get out of depression. You don't want to go outside right now. So get up and go outside right now. What, Will? It's cold. I don't want to do that. Do it anyway. You don't want to go down and eat dinner with your family. Do it anyway. You don't want to call that friend that's been calling you over and over again. What am I going to say? Do it anyway. Do what you don't want to do. You are physically, the more you stay trapped in this isolation that you're in, the harder it's going to be to get out. And people told me that, and I was just like, I know. Well, I can't simplify it any more than this. To help yourself get out of depression, don't choose to do what your mind wants to do. Choose, or your brain wants to do. Do what your mind wants to do. That's the way I meant to say it. And do what you don't want to do. If you choose not to, and you choose to ignore this message in this video, then you're choosing to be isolated and depressed. Know that you're choosing your depression. Yes, there's a physical manifestation of depression, hippocampi and these neurons separating. Yes, medications would help you get out of it. But if you don't make that call, if you don't seek a friend to get help, and financially, there's Medicaid in this country, and it's not a financial excuse not to get help. So if you don't have a financial excuse, and you've got a friend that can take you to a place to get help, take that first step. You'll feel great that you at least tried. Your friends don't want to see you isolating. You don't want to be isolated. Your neurons are isolating the more guilt and shame that you dwell on it. And your guilt and shame will continue to go because you feel guilty and ashamed, so therefore you feel guilty and ashamed. So it's kind of a mind twister. But you know what I mean. You're stuck in a circle. Break the circle. Break it. Change the pattern in your life and do something different. Definition of insanity, another video that's already produced on isolation kills. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm researching and working on finding out information before I do these videos. These are not just me pontificating over my little high thoughts or whatever I think. I want to give you tools in this video series to help you. And again, if it saves one life, it's worth it. And I feel like it's my responsibility because I know what helped me get out of my depression, and I want that for you. Tell your friends that are bummed out about this channel. I think it's important. It's not about building a subscriber list. Of course, I want lots of subscribers. Everybody does on YouTube. It's about helping somebody else out. I've recommended it many times, and of course, I always recommend professional therapy, looking at medications. I'm not saying take medications, but definitely look at the possibility with a psychologist of taking medications to help you with your physical manifestation of your depression, to help you get out of the depression. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience with me on this video if you're still watching it. And until next time, isolation kills. Don't forget it. Thanks for watching.